Alright, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to a new impromptu series that I have been inspired by Calvin to create. This is going to be called Media Club First Takes. As you know, I find random shows, Calvin finds random shows and movies, and we introduce them to each other. This was supposed to be a team meeting today. We didn't do that. It's fine. I wanted to get Calvin's first impression of a show I saw before we had our little bit of a break, because school started for me. Calvin went to...
I'm not doing anything. Well, I went to Europe.
Yeah, you went to Europe.
Yeah, but I'm not like in school or anything.
But you went to...
I'm not as busy as you.
You went to Europe. Anyway, I specifically was like, Calvin, don't text me or talk to me on your own vacation, and he did that anyway, which is hilarious. So yeah, today's show I found on Crunchyroll is called Link Click. I believe is a Chinese anime, and I watched 3 episodes and immediately thought this is a Calvin show. Now, for your first take.
Yeah, I fully agree. I should say we gotta do the social media thing since you're
We do the social media.
We gotta plug it.
We have to plug it. Find that outlet. Just slam it in.
Yeah. So this pod is for nerds. That's our Instagram. This pod is number 4 nerds on Twitter, and then if you want to email us suggestions for stuff, this pod is for nerds at gmail.com.
That's right.
So yeah, this is gonna be a new thing. I kind of like this idea. I think it's really cool. I want to like show you some stuff and vice versa, and see if we can like turn it into like a proper media club. Like if we really like the show, then we keep it going. Yeah. So Zach showed me Link Click. I really enjoyed it. I mean, you're 3 episodes in, so I think it's clear that you enjoyed it as well.
It definitely had all the elements and things I look for. It's got suspense. It's got all that kind of like, I'm not really sure how the mechanics of it work, and really what's happening. The animation is fantastic. The music's awesome.
Yeah.
And honestly, one thing about the doing things this way for first takes, it's much easier to film us and our first reactions and cut that into microdosed amounts of 7-second clip videos for social media. Because one thing I've learned how to do is use social media, but also just have no idea how to use social media.
Yeah,
so.
I'm borderline boomer at this point. So yeah, these will be a lot shorter. Like our normal media club's like 60 minutes. I feel like we can.
Oh yeah, we can
crank these out. Yeah, much shorter time. So give us the premise of the show.
Premise of the show, to my knowledge, you have 2 main characters. I don't speak Chinese that well, so one has white hair and one has black hair. They both live with have a landlady who they're constantly in debt to, so your normal, something we can all kind of relate to kind of situation. And realistically, they have the ability, it's not quite explained how yet, I'm only 3 episodes in, to use photographs and dive into people's histories and either extract information or alter and change the course of history. So I don't really get how all that works, but they're a partner team. The one with the black hair, they call it diving. He dives into the memory, and the one with the white hair can scan photos of the person's life up until the photo was taken, I believe, or up until where they are in time. I still don't really know how that works.
It seems like he's like his grounding, because there are like moments where he's kind of like pulling away because there's like a lot of rules, right? Like, what are the 3 rules they say? Like, you get 12 hours.
Yep.
The past and the present, you just have to leave them. Don't ask about it.
Yep.
And then
don't change it. Don't change anything.
Yeah, you don't want to like drastically alter stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's a bit of a grounding element for him.
It's very similar. Like what caught my attention, it reminds me of Inception.
Yeah.
Only like in Inception, you can change and alter a dream, but it doesn't necessarily change the real world. Apparently, this has like immediate ramifications from the first episode.
Yeah, which we learned about. Maybe we shouldn't spoil quite yet, but yeah, this reminds me, and not in a bad way, but it reminds me of a much worse thing to Inception, which is
oh no,
the Ashton Kutcher butterfly effect.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, just only in that like Ashton Kutcher like looks through the notebook, and that's like what sends him back or whatever.
Dude,
yeah,
the dude who played the guy who was My Name is Earl, Randy, he was in that movie.
Yeah, isn't he the one that like loses his legs or arms or whatever because they put that firework in the mailbox and it like blows? Or no, it's Ashton Kutcher's character that happens.
Okay,
too.
I honestly didn't even see the movie.
Really?
I didn't.
Man.
I just remember going like, oh, this guy was the bully in
between Chinese and like what I'm used to, which is like Japanese. Just like mostly the animation, less so the artwork, but like The way they animate movement and stuff feels very different. I like it. It feels like it's maybe like a maturing art form over there. I don't know if that's the case. I think you have more experience with Chinese anime than me.
To be honest, it's still, I heard about it through manga like maybe 10 years.
If you enjoyed that, I think this would be a really good supplementary show.
I agree. It's definitely, as far as I can tell so far, I think what gets me is less of like action aspect, but more of like the suspense and like figuring out like it's a good riddle mystery kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
With just some gutty shit.
Dude, it's crazy. I will say, like, the first thing that I thought of when I watched the show was I love the music.
Yeah.
The music's fantastic. I think they do a really good job with the music. Yeah, obviously the plot's really awesome, and I think what I really like is, and it's something that you see, I don't know if you see it as much in anime, but like mainstream live action TV is there's a lot of hand holding, and I feel like there's not as much of that in this. They're just like, you're just in the world, and like if you can't hang with what we're doing, like you'll catch up eventually, maybe. Because that's like, so there's a moment in this episode. Maybe let's just go into the plot. Let's just
yeah, that's fine.
So the plot of this first episode, there are these two guys. They're basically getting a job. They're going to jump into this picture, and the focus is on this. Like, I'm assuming it's a video game company, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to get their financials, which is only on the CEO's physical flash drive. He never like keeps it on any of the company servers. So they jump into this picture in the hopes of like getting that financial information because there's supposedly a crime happening. And there's a moment in this episode where the person that they've invaded, which is like this woman that works for the company, I don't really know what, she's the assistant, I guess?
Yeah, she's the CEO, assistant to the CEO, so she'd be an EA.
Yeah, so she, there's a moment where she has like this flashback to her childhood, and there's a moment where it like switches to another character that's a boy, and I was like, oh, maybe they're like trans. That was like the only time where I was like kind of confused.
Yeah.
But like, and that's when I asked Zach to pause. But like, I feel like the show does a really good job of not holding your hand, introducing you to this relatively complex idea, and it's just like, roll with us, and you'll kind of like, you'll follow along eventually. But I thought this episode was really great. I thought it was really cool, the ending, how you learn, because the character wanted to know what happens to this person they've invaded, what happens to their future, and they don't let you know, and I think they easily could have just not shown us what happens to her, and I would have been probably fine with that, but it was kind of interesting to find out, like, she gets murdered.
Yeah.
And, like, is there going to be something, because, like, so her family came to visit her, and they're at the train station, and she's like chasing after them. She wants them to stay because she got fired.
Before that, we saw that they kind of had a strained relationship before that because she's from the country and like she works in the big city, so her parents didn't want to like embarrass her, so they kind of felt like she was distant. But yeah, that context I'm gonna throw in there.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because like that is a really compelling. That makes their relationship very interesting. It's a little more deep than you would expect, but she gets kind of stopped by this guy that's like clearly kind of creepy.
Yeah,
but
his animation wasn't like, "Hey, I'm an NPC."
Right? Yeah, no, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna murder you." So I knew immediately, like, this chick's fucking dead. And we find out she like drowns in the river. So I'm kind of curious, and if you want to go into it, like, do we learn more about who this guy is, like, as the story goes on? Is it kind
Honestly,
of like
I don't know. I'm only 3 episodes in, and so far they haven't touched back on it. I'd imagine the whole like "don't look at the future" rule gets broken. So the character who dives into people, we kind of find out that his parents abandoned him through the flashback because the person that he dove into had a memory of her parents making her, what was it, spring rolls?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he had the same memory, but in his memory, his parents weren't happy, and together they were walking away from the table and leaving him. So when he dive in, we learn that he actually inherits the feelings and memories of whoever like he dives into.
Yeah.
But that also like conflicts with his own actual feelings and things too. So he kind of triggered her in that, or she triggered him by her memories being similar to his, but having the opposite effect. What we find out is that he kind of broke a rule. He started texting the parents because he missed his own parents, but talking to her. And so the parents came into the city to help her like make her spring roll. So that's why she was running towards the.
That's a good point. I hadn't even really considered. He's the reason she's dead, basically.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
We don't know. That's the thing. It leaves it so ambiguous to the fact of like, we don't know what was memory and what wasn't. And that's why they said, he said, what did you change?
Yeah.
The handler was like, "What did you change?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just joking." But by all appearances, he did change a thing. Now, if this guy continues to be, if the guy who we see as being the nefarious character at the end is like out killing people, we don't know right now if that like she was originally a target or someone else would have been targeted.
Right.
It's still so ambiguous in the first episode. Like,
Yeah.
all we know is that she was killed, but they news report is a suicide. So even then, the way he did it made it look like nothing had happened besides her taking her own life.
Right. Yeah.
We need to put a warning on the front of this episode.
Yeah. Shit. I guess we should have done a trigger warning. But it strikes me as, and you please feel free to fill it in. I don't think that this is like a big deal. Is it like
sex tape?
Oh, I I
Just finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, so
so good. Is this like a picture of the week type show? Like each episode, they're going into a new picture, and there's like this overarching thing that's like going on in the background that they have to resolve.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Based on the first 3 episodes, I've only seen them do separate dives. I imagine by episode 4 or 5, we'll start seeing some things that are like connecting everything together.
Yeah.
They've already kind of laid down the base of there's this guy out there who's killing people. This guy is looking for his parents, and we honestly, the handler, we have no information on how he even came to exist, or where the powers come from, or who gave. Like, there's so much left open.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I love about it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
really good storytelling.
It is. So that's link click. If you want us to watch it, maybe let us know, and we can do like a whole episode. If you have watched it, let us know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're on Crunchyroll or Hulu or HBO and you have shows that you think we should watch that we shouldn't cancel our subscriptions for, let us know. And no, we're not going to keep certain subscriptions based on sponsorship deals, even though my silky sweet voice and Calvin's decadent tones could market the hell out of something.
God damn, that voice is just so sweet.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you get that soft serve, you get that silky sweet soft serve, you're done.
You get the swirl.
Yeah, you're finished with the buffet, but you know what? Pinkberry's right over there staring at you saying, hey, you know you want that swirl. And you see the vanilla, you see the chocolate, you see the mocha, you're like, man, I don't know what to do, but then you realize you have 14 ounces of goodness to like do whatever you want. You combine those bastards in the same bowl, and you go right for the Cinnamon Toast Crunch and M&M's. You pack that motherfucker up.
Oh yeah, that's a good combo. Is that what you normally get? When
I haven't gotten
that
in years because I just used to get so much crap on top of it.
Oh, that's
honestly,
all
I
I
just
do.
Get, like granola.
Yeah, my wife's like, oh, I'm gonna get the fruit and stuff. I'm like, give me all the chocolate.
You can't put fruit on frozen yogurt. I'm sorry. Like,
it's
so. Don't do it.
It's an abomination.
Tell me why I should. And I'm still gonna tell you. Well, okay, bananas are okay.
Yeah, that works well, I think.
I think my first thought was people who put grapes on frozen yogurt.
Oh, that's an abomination.
Why are you
that's
doing
disgusting.
that?
Yeah,
Don't put grapes and raisins in frozen yogurt.
No, it's gross.
They
get all hard.
Quickest way to piss me off.
Yeah. Okay. So that was so we're calling this this podcast is for nerds first takes.
Yeah, media club first takes.
Media club first takes. Let us know what you think. Did you watch Link Click? Did you enjoy it? Leave us a comment. This is going to be going up on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Broken up into little bits. Or maybe as like, can you upload a 15-minute thing to Instagram? I don't know.
Not at all.
No, okay.
What we probably can do...
We'll break this
honestly,
up.
What we probably can do is, like... this is why we have to have a meeting. So we're going to leave now.
Yeah,
we're going to leave now, and we're going to have a meeting. Because what we could do is, like, append this to, like, a first take, last take thing. Where we have a first take, and then we, like, save the recording, come back, going, hey, we're back. Welcome to the end of it. We finished the series.
I like that.
Holy fuck. So that way we have, like, what is this, 20 minutes of, like, the first take, and then we round up the media club with, like, our end impressions and how it changed versus the thought. Maybe we start a series going strong, and then it ends up sucking.
That's possible.
It's definitely has happened.
Maybe there's a reason we have 4 seasons of this thing.
If the power of goddamn friendship shows up in any more animes I watch, like, actually, I offended someone on accident.
What happened?
We were talking about anime, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really into the whole power of friendship animes. They're like, well, what do you watch? And I was like, well, I mean, I watch anime still, but, like, realistically, I'm just kind of grew up watching Naruto Shippuden and, like, Bleach, where it's like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna keep this unimaginable power from. We all watch Krillin die. We get it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done with that. That's not really complex writing.
We don't like Sword Art Online, okay?
No, we don't. I don't. Calvin does.
I hate it. I think it's the most overrated anime of all time.
Ooh, that
could be a whole episode. Oh shit! I am bookmarking that.
That's a good episode.
God damn. Saving that one for later. All right, thanks everyone.
Yep, take it easy.
Bye.
思索是怎样存在的物质，记录着在那瞬间轴尽头的故事，刻在我目中。